In the land of endless nights, we're bound to fight again. The clock resets our lights, a tale that never ends. Through the storms and fire's glare, we rise to face the fate. With courage in the air, forgetting yesterday. You've got time, all the time, to break the chains of fate. You've got time, all the time, to set the record straight. In every dawn we see a chance to try once more. With hearts unbound and free, we open every door. In the quest that never cease, we know what we must do. We're spirits seeking peace, the reckless will be true. You've got time, all the time, to right the wrongs we've made. You've got time, all the time, to let the past just fade. You've got time, all the time, to break the chains of fate. You've got time, all the time, to set the record straight.
This party might die tonight. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. We are here with 4 of the lovely people in the Wreckless. Everybody take a look at your camera, wave, and say hi, especially while I fix the music.
Ahoy, mateys.
Hey.
Hi.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Apologies. Let me... Why is this not playing through? That's weird. Let's try that again.
Ni hao.
That's weird.
Konbanwa.
All right. We might just have to go to the main theme. Yeah, main thing is working. I have no idea why the other one is. Sorry, gang. But that's okay. Because we got kind of a little bit of a weird session here today. Anyways, so for those that don't know what the heck this is, hi, we are a D&D live stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, having 4 parties for now, living, existing, breathing in the same world, the wonderful, beautiful world of Astera. So if this is your first time here, grab a nice warm beverage or a cold one. I don't know if it's cold in your house, grab something warm. If it's warm, you do what you want. Do you? But we're glad you're here either way. Before we begin, pretty slim on the announcements, gang. As I mentioned last week, we are officially done with Humblewood. It was a beautiful, wonderful chapter that I absolutely loved, and was incredibly fortuitous, not just for the art of story, but also because it helped to fill up our roster for our 5th campaign. That's right, 5. I'm DMing 5 campaigns a week. 5 of them. That's not I'm not saying look at me. I'm saying what's wrong with me. But I also know people who do more, and they're even crazier than me. So Abravar, or the Brasslight is what the working title is right now for that. The plan is right now, I will be able to confirm by Friday. The plan is that we are going to be starting next week. October 3rd is going to be the start of the 5th campaign. I'm super excited. Sarah is in it. I'm very excited for her character as well as the others that are joining in. 3 of which are from Humblewood. So like I said, fortuitous. For those that haven't heard me talk about Abravar is the I guess really the 2nd expansion in the what started out as the world of Iman is now branched into the world of Astera. So Abravar is a place that is a little bit further east, but giving the vibes of the wild, the West. It is a Wild Wild West steampunk campaign with trains.
Mechanical spider in this Wild Wild West?
Is there a mechanical spider? You bet your butt there is. Of course.
All right. It's not quite as big.
It's not. It is considerably much smaller. For now, I don't know. There might be some. Who knows? It's a crazy world. But yeah, there will be some guns, some spiders, a spider for now, some trains.
Choo-choo.
It's choo choo. I like it. It is going to be full chaos. And also, as I said, this might be. Oh no, I guess for you guys this would be the second to last time that I can offer you guys to be able to ask one question about the campaign that is coming. And if I don't know it, I will be honest and say I don't know yet. So super excited to get that started. Like I said, October 3rd is the plan to start that. We will know for sure by Friday. So very excited about that. All right, you guys ready for the question? 3, 2, 1, go.
Is there anything living in the giant desert? That's like, what's the name of the desert there?
The Umber?
The Umber, yeah. Is there anything like deep in the Umber?
Yes.
Umber Hulks? Okay, great. Thank you. Moving
Great.
on.
Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Evan. Good one.
Satisfying?
Yeah.
Don't ask yes or no questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Describe in 1,000 words or less.
They're insects.
Yes, there are a number of things that live deep within the deserts. I'll give you yeah, all right, we'll give you the things. What powers the brass lights, the train that goes back and forth, as well as a couple of other figures that are in the country of Abravar, the land of Abravar, is this hyper sort of sensitive, hyper volatile version of coal, a substance that is called ignite, that is only produced by these large, terrifying, horrible looking, massive, basically desert ant creatures, but then take them and make them as big as a car. And these creatures are called emberbacks. Emberbacks are the desert's worst nightmare, one of the desert's worst nightmares. But what's really interesting and great about these creatures is that they produce a substance that's called ignite. So we have, of course, when you have a dangerous creature and a very useful substance that they give, you have people crazy enough to do those jobs, and that is what we have in this world. So the Emberback Wranglers are figures that take their life in their hands each and every day to go down and get the ignite in the hives of the Umber.
I wasn't taking notes, but
Are you taking notes?
I thought about notes, and then I was like, why would I take notes? Except we're going east. We're definitely going east.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm
not putting it in
my God.
this campaign's notebook. It's going in my new campaign notebook.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Got a train on it.
That is yes. That's our new
That's pretty sweet.
our new merch that we have. No, I wish I would. That does look like exactly like the merch that I want to present. Maybe someday. Maybe when we get to 300.
And then you can sell them again. That's how that works.
That's true. That is literally what
They
would
do with
be
Alibaba.
Yeah, maybe when we get to 300 subscribers, we'll see. Which brings me to my next point. If you are interested in supporting the channel and getting us to do some cool things in the future, the best way to do so is to like and subscribe where you're watching this, whether that is on YouTube or Twitch. It helps us out immensely. Please, please, please. Pretty please. Awesome. Great. Thank you. But it's a great way to kind of like help feed the almighty algorithm to be able to have more people to be able to watch us, but also honestly to be able to engage and be involved in the story that we're all together telling at this proverbial table. So thank you in advance, but also you can check out our Instagram and TikTok down below right there, at It's a Long Story _TTRPG, which is kind of like a next level thing for people that want to get even closer to seeing like favorite clips of what's happened before. Obviously, we have a ton of videos at this point, or a ton of sessions that we've added up. For only for half as long as we've done this, we've been running in this world for about 3.5 years now. There's been a lot of recent additions, obviously with the 5th campaign being another one. So if you want to be kind of a part of that journey and hang on for the ride, please check those things out. So Instagram, TikTok at It's a Long Story _TTRPG. Liking and subscribing where you're watching this here helps us out a ton. And you certainly don't have to. We will love you no matter what. But hey, if you want to be cool, do it. And that's it. That's my pitch. That's all. You guys want to do some D&D stuff now?
Ready to go home.
Hey.
Wait, let's do it.
It's funny every time, Evan.
My
I'm sorry.
catchphrase now.
It's funny every time.
That's your catchphrase.
Yep.
Hey!
Well, also the fantasy football season started, and that's basically D&D for jocks.
Yeah.
So go.
Yeah, you jocks. You can watch this,
It's like
and
Pokemon
it's
for jocks.
and it's the same.
Sure. Let's play
I
some football.
certainly don't do that. I definitely
We're
don't do
basically
that. Man, I
athletes,
feel
guys.
so
We're
shamed.
basically
Ewan is
oh man.
very,
I feel so shamed.
There's a I mean I've played sports balls before. But there's who was it that says basically I'm an athlete? Does anybody remember that meme?
I do not.
I'll find it.
It
Or
sounds
my
familiar.
brain will give it in the middle of some very important part of the story.
I hope so.
But I'm
Make sure to
basically
save.
an
If your
athlete.
brain gives it, let it. Yeah, you must let it free.
I must let it free. You got it. I will. I promise. I'll interrupt you if it's just to do it. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Before we jump into tonight, which will be a very interesting one. Obviously, we're I believe we are actually going to be missing both Nav and Drew tonight. So it'll be a trip. It'll be a trip for sure. Before we get into that tonight, we do need to get a recap of where we left off. I believe, Sarah, if I recall, it is your turn, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. Please take it away.
Okay, so after a very stressful conversation with all of us trying to tell Kubamu, hey, please don't destroy the town. Maybe come with us. We're not here to hurt you. We want to be friends, and don't kill us or rip my arm off. It doesn't go that well, but he agrees after Yoon decides I'm going to leave my very powerful deck of cards here, that's basically a deck of many things, with you as collateral, and we'll take you to his island. So we're all going down the tower, and as we get down, not all of us, a few stay behind, but as they get down, we find out what Zed's been doing the entire time. Building a tiki bar on the beach. And after finding out, instead of using of the many glasses and cups he has on the ship, he's going to pour all the alcohol in empty, half-rinsed out cans of peaches, meats, and other mysterious items. Meanwhile, up in the tower, Ogre decides to go check up on the 3rd floor of the tower to see if that mysterious item is still there. Car notices that she's going up there and follows. As Ogre cannot see anything, like it was never there, she asks Car, hey, can you help me find anything, like detect magic, which Car didn't have, so we asked Nala, and Nala, being Nala, just argued. But then Ogre remembered she had speak with plants, and had a very meaningful and interesting conversation with a little weed that we have named Weedy, with many shrugs and almost killing itself several times, pointed in a direction where the manacles weren't, but something buried was below the tower. We go down back to the tower to have more drinks with Zed and his homemade tiki bar in the conversation pit made out of sand. And we all start discussing many different things, but Ogre tells Yoon that there's something buried over there, which Zed hears, and after an incredible nat 20, Zed actually finds the spot where Ogre was indicating and starts to dig, until Ogre remembers, wait, Kobamo said he buried something here, and it's probably not a good idea to dig it up. As Zed is digging in the exact right spot, he notices the tower keeps going further down, which means there's another floor or two below. He finds the gauntlet belt thing, that's what I have written in my notes, and Yoon and everyone tells him to put it down, even though Zed wants to try to put it on. Ogre picks up Zed, and we all go into the tower after Riaris uses all the hard work to dig a hole to prove it goes down further, while Yoon just sits there and manages it and works up a sweat doing it. And then we go into the tower to find a hidden trapdoor to go further below, after several missed attempts. As we go down, Yoon turns into a gaseous form to go through the cellar door. There he sees a skeleton and a few other things and a mantle. Lodged into the skeleton is I forgot what those things are called.
Solaris Lunaris.
Solaris Lunaris. Try saying that 3 times fast. Lodged into its head with its hand still on it. Yoon, realizing he doesn't want to touch it and seeing all the other things, he gets everybody to come up after unhatching the other side. There we also see a water gate doorway, which Carr realizes what that is and immediately puts himself in between so Zed won't see it. As the group try to figure out how to get the thing out of the skeleton's hand, Ogura accidentally uses the magic Animate Dead. And after an attempt to understand it with the Hokey Pokey, we actually get the Solaris Naris that the skeleton will pull out of his head and hand it to us. We don't want to touch it, so Zed uses his 2 daggers like chopsticks to hold it. Kaelinor decides to take the responsibility and hold it into their bag, wrapping it in their own vestments. So everyone agrees Kaelinor should have it, and then Kaelinor realizes if we line up the Solaris Lunaris, however you pronounce it, and put it down below in these downstairs towers, this will summon their god and probably destroy the entire world. So it's a good thing that these dark ones that the Merlin Look don't know about, because they're looking for the ones that we got. As we're all talking, Zed wants to check out the gate, and Carr's trying to tell him not to, but Yoon and everyone is like, hey, he's got to learn. So most of us goes upstairs to, like, you can see what's coming a mile away, while Riaris and Yoon stay in the back. He tries to see what's keeping the water, which is magic, from not entering the room, and very delicately he touches the water. A hand comes out, grabs him, and pulls him into the water, and we're all left with, not surprised, but still with our mouths open in shock.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. I believe, quick note, Riaris, you recognized the figure with a crazy high roll, I believe.
Yes, I think I got a natural 20 after using my inspiration on it. Yeah, recognize it from dreams of some sort.
Yes. As a figure that when you were walking through the encampment where oh my gosh, what's her name? I wrote her. Not Sylvia. Selma. Where Selma was, the dark cave underneath, you saw that figure. So there is some sort of level of reminder of a link to that past moment. Cool. Sarah, thank you so much. Anything else we missed, gang, that we need to add?
Looking back at my notes, Kobama pulled one of Yoon's cards. Nothing's happened. And there was a dogfish.
There was not a dogfish. There is no dogfish. No. No. Bad. You're muted, Evan. Still muted, Evan.
Let him spit. He's going. Just let him go.
What's funny is that I said Selma, and then you said not Sylvia, and I said Selma. And then you said, I was like, that's what I just said. That was a good
Sorry,
route.
man.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry. My bad.
I was just talking about how you made a lot of barking sounds, and you're really, really convincing barking sounds. And then you say that the dogfish isn't real, but you talked about it and you made the sounds. So yeah.
It's real.
You hear that, Mercer? You hear that? Coming for you.
That cork pop sound.
Shots fired.
Just kidding. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Well, let's dive in, gang. Here we go. As we drop down into this moment, time slows down. we just saw Zed's body grabbed by a scaly, somewhat familiar hand and ripped into the darkness of the water. Yoon and Riaris, from your vantage points, I'll say for both of you, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That'd be a
21.
natural 20 or an 18. Less than his. Nat 20.
This is the saddest nat 20 you've ever gotten.
Excellent.
Riaris, you got a 21?
Yes.
Okay. Both of you see the shadow of a figure with a large crown. You can see glinting in the light from above that seems to kind of catch, and you see almost like a coral-like, I just wanted to say diadem, but it almost actually is kind of like a crown that seems to extend out past. That matches the golden eyes. You see the figure grab Zed's body like it's nothing and move a distance away, but stays just close enough so that you can see the black silhouetted water as you see Zed's body go limp. Yoon, in this moment, as you are watching, you see the figure turn to that hole. And there's a moment of danger and feeling like maybe she'll go back to finish all of you. And you're not entirely sure, but you feel like you've locked eyes with the golden beams of these pupilless eyes that are looking back at you. You're not sure in that moment whether or not you're imagining this or if it's happening, but you swear you see the beginnings of it, just a crooked smile. As she takes Zed's body and swims away. Carr and Ogra, you guys are off to the sides, maybe peering in from this moment of trying to do something to naturally react, maybe even trying to throw your bodies into the water. You all can go ahead and tell me what you're doing here, but Yoon and Riaris, you know the deed's done.
Yoon, I think when this happens in general, like, as soon as the arm comes out, Yoon takes a step forward and to his hand flashes his pistol. And he looks like he's going to run after Zed. And then there's a sort of, almost like a golden sort of haze or shimmer around him that sort of, he locks in place. You can see his muscles struggling to move. And he fights against it. And then I think he just freezes there for the moment, just staring and trying to move, but having internally an argument with himself about cost benefit, about pointlessness. And eventually, I think, you know, as he sees especially the golden eyes, I think he stares back, but goes limp and kind of you could see him sort of visibly, shoulders sag, realize that he's not going after, that there's nothing to do, and is just sort of still staring at it for the moment.
Anybody else?
I think Yaris was kind of halfway climbing up the rope to get up towards Kaelinor, who had already climbed up, when he sees this and kind of immediately jumps down. And before I think it can even react, feels the energy, sees Yoon kind of slump as the silhouette disappears. And I think I just look around. Do we go? And I don't think he realized. I think he just kind of is almost like, do we have to go? And I think you all see on like, what do we do? You know, looking around pleadingly at the others. And I think internally he knows that he doesn't know what to do. Like this is not good. And I think he looks at you, Kar, and Ogra, who are close to him, and as well as you, Yoon, and I see Yoon's downcast kind of gaze, and just stay in shock.
Ogre and Kar?
Kar probably instinctively summons spirits, but I imagine like as he's above seeing it and going down, they're looking at him like, what do we do? What are you going to tell us to do?
Mm-hmm.
And he sees exactly what Yaris described, and knowing he can't go underwater, and they're just looking at him and he's feeling very helpless. And so eventually they just one by one fade out, leaving Kar alone. Just because I don't know what to do. I tried and I couldn't. So yeah, he's...
Ogre.
Ogra, because of what happened with her Yaris and the wall, as soon as she would see Zed getting taken, she would probably jump down and start running toward it in about to wild shape. And may just jump into the water.
Up to you.
She would. After with Riara, she wouldn't, like, just sit there. She'd go into
I would say as you're going, I'd be like, wait, Ogre. And that, I think that's all I could muster in the moment is just that.
If I start to see her go in, I know this is weird, but I'm gonna aim and try to shoot her. And it is with a special round that I described. That is one of my last rounds, where you shoot 2 times. If you hit the first thing and shoot a second time, the 2 things switch places. So I'll aim and try to fire at her, because it's the only thing I can think to do in that moment to not have her go in there. And it's loaded, because that's the last 2 rounds I have.
Okay. Say, before you fire those rounds, Ogre, do you think the statement Ogre is enough to stop you?
Ogre feels guilty that Riaris technically died because Ogre let him stay. And I think she would go into there not really thinking. And seeing that gun, there'll be a moment like, you probably hear, Yoon?
Okay.
Don't. He's gone. I saw him die. Maybe...
You don't know he's dead.
that's what she wants. And I saw his body. That's not the way a living body looks. If anybody can come back from that, maybe it's Zed, but we can't go in there after him. We couldn't fight with all of us.
Car. Roll me a history check. Low DC.
One moment, because I accidentally closed the window. Because I'm a clumsy person sometimes. Let's see. There it is. History check, you said. Got it. And it's opening, and I am rolling. 22.
As Yoon says, dead bodies don't look like that. Or sorry, living bodies don't look like that. And you're sure that she was sure that she wanted you to see that. And there's no coming back from that. Car, things get darker and deeper for you when you remember seeing and experiencing what she can do. And know that there are things that are worse than death.
Yeah. We should go.
Go? No. I think Riara's kind of has fallen to his knees at this point. No, we can't go forward without all of us, Car. We can't go.
What if Sylvia brings Zed back like Riaris?
Sylvia's not here, Ogra. Like, Sylvia is not bringing him back.
Sometimes your luck runs out. Sometimes you have to retreat, and we'll have a strategic regathering. And I'm tired of doing this. Would somebody else please be a voice of optimism for once instead of me?
Sure, we should go. I'll check for his spirit. If his spirit doesn't respond, we'll go look for him. Just like we look for Ogra. Let's get out of here.
Yes. We need to get... Yes.
Riaris, you look at the top of the trapdoor as you see a drop seem to kind of extend down from it, as you see Kalinor's face wet with tears, who has just been listening. But she looks steely-eyed at you, Riaris. Riaris. Can't stay here. And I think she disappears from that window.
I think Riaris gets up knowing that's the truth and not wanting to admit it, and just throws as hard as he can a punch into the corpse, that decaying, awful corpse on the ground that has fallen back down to the ground, and just fucking smashes it right in and curses as loud as he can. I'm not going to do it to blow everybody's eardrums, and waits for someone else to climb up. And he does not want to be the first one to go up. He will be the last, and just stares at that water through that window, waiting, and just
I think by the time you curse, Yoon's already up. Fly is still up for him, so he floats out, still kind of shoulders slumped. Gun hanging to his side as if it was very heavy. And he just sort of floats up and he flies over to the ship. Barring any intervention.
No, Carl will fly with him. Car goes up and...
Oh, that's right. You fly too.
Actually, Car doesn't fly with him. Car goes up in circle. Car circles, waiting for everybody else to go up.
Okay. Car, when you
He'll be the last one.
when you circle, you do see Nala on deck, and you see Yoon coming towards her.
They're fine. I'm just going to circle, make sure that everyone gets off this island who's still on the island, with the exception of Kobama. I'm not going to try and hold his hand.
I would say if I could, I would try to get to Yoon or someone. I'm not going to push it to if I could get to Yoon and say, you need to get your cards. We need those cards now. We don't have the opportunity to leave them behind. You need to get them.
I mean, I think if you're trying to stop him now, unless you're physically stopping him, he is quiet and he's silently.
Yeah, if you fly away, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
mean, you could definitely step in front of him and say that. I think he'd listen for a
maybe
second.
Maybe we'll say when we get back to the boat, I'll probably
You
say
guys
that.
do
Then.
too. Yep.
I don't think I would catch up to you before.
Or you could just yell it as he goes through the, and you're not sure if he heard you or not.
No, I think to pull it together. I
Wait
think
to-
when we get back to the boat or over there, I think
Sure.
that's when it would kind of come to the point.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yoon, you get to the boat, you see Nala. Nala is coming up on deck with a box of open tin cans of various names. And as she comes up, she goes, "All right, we have glasses. We don't need these, right? Can I just say we lost them before, the rest of them get back, or?"
Yoon walks up, takes the box, if she lets him, and just throws it off the side.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna roll something for her. No, she doesn't get it.
He
Okay.
looks at her kind of a little bit like appraisingly. Just. No, it can't be you. We need to make way. We found, another. We found an opposite Solaris Lunaris, and we have to get it away from here. And that's the important thing right now. We need to do. So let's. I'm gonna start. Where's Yef?
He's down below. He was helping me get.
Oh.
Yef, get up here. I guess we're going. Yef comes up. Yef comes up to the top of the rung. Yoon, do you think you need to roll a deception check, or do you think it's on your face?
I think he is trying to put on the leader role face, that kind of thing. So yeah,
Cool.
I'll definitely roll a deception check. It's a 21.
Okay. Beautiful. It comes up as, oh yeah, sorry, he had a ton of just random. We good to go?
Yeah, they're coming, and we need to go. We found something we need to get out of here. So we need to make way.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Wait, they're coming. You get the ship ready. I need to go. I need to go look for something, and then he starts walking down into the actual cabin to Zed's room. I assume he has something like that.
Yeah. Cool. They do what they're told. I think Nala is only annoyed. That's the only, she sees, Kara like kind of like flying up and just kind of like scouting the area. I think she looks at that. Okay. And kills him. No. And there's a look as she's like staring at you, Car. And I think, Car, you tell me, do you think you're close enough to hear the conversation between you and Nala, or you think you're far enough away that, cool. Car, roll me an insight check.
Four.
Yeah, that's right. No, I think that's right. You are fairly certain the reason why, because Nala's far enough away, you're fairly certain the reason why Nala's staring at you is because you just heard the news. That's fun and silly, and I like it. Cool. Yeah, back at the tower, Ogre and Riaris, what are you guys doing?
Before Ogre looks at the water door one more time, but she's listening to Yoon because he was about to shoot her, so she knows he's serious, but she is like obviously crying. But as she like the doors you come up with, she is covering with dust and trying to lock it, and then we go up those doors, she's also covering the one in the first floor tower, covering it with dust like it hasn't been disturbed.
I'm sorry, what are you doing?
In the first floor, the door that led us to the first two hatch doors that gets you into the basement, she's trying to like cover it back up so like it hasn't been disturbed.
Okay, how are you covering it up?
Moving rocks around. I can't remember how they found the
So
latch.
Riar is stone shaped the first one, which I imagine is kind of permanent.
That's what I was going to ask.
Unless
Riaris
does it. Yeah.
I don't have another stone shape,
good
so
point,
there's not
though.
much I can do about it. So, yeah, I think I just
Then
got a
she's
hole.
just
So,
I'm just gonna find a big rock and try to move it to hide the hole.
yeah.
Yep.
But I will assist as well if I can.
And she is probably raging doing it as well.
Okay. Beautiful. You find I don't know why I'm rolling. It looks insane. But Riaris, you do it. I mean, having a large outside rock just randomly placed in here, it doesn't seem to kind of like make sense. You can kind of tell that there's a sense of like, there's a moment where you're kind of almost feeling like it might draw more attention, but what's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, Riaris is in fuck it mode right now, to be clear. Just like, I don't care. Someone wants to get down there, that's their own problem.
Yep.
Ogre's also going to use Druid Craft to put vines around it to make it look like plant life has grown around it for decades.
Cool. You got it. Yoon, can you roll on your card table to see which one Kobamu took? I may say if it's not a high card, if it's not a low card, it might need to be a low card.
Do you want me to find out what it does?
Mm-mm.
It's the 5 of stones.
Okay.
I'll set it to the side.
I'm going to take a little Libram with Kaelinor. Kaelinor goes up, and Riaris, you can hear say to Kobamu, "You can keep that. We'll come back for it. But we need the rest of these. No response. You see her come back down. She's holding the deck.
I think that pulls me out of it a little bit. I was so focused with Ogra on filling this in and just step in front of it, seeing her do that. Take a breath and just give them a nod. She has it with thinking a step ahead of Riaris. Yeah. I think if I can, as we go back to Ogra, a few steps back, walking past Zed's tiki bar as we're going towards the boat that'll bring us back to the boat. Put a hand on Ogra's shoulder and say, "We're coming back for him, right? We're going to come back for him. We're not leaving him behind." What? And I think I try to stop Ogra if I could, and just say, "What did you do when I was gone? That's what we have to do, right? We just have to. What do we do, Ogra?"
Keonar walks past you and starts to prepare the boat. What else is going on?
We just kept going, but if Yoon is like this, Ogra doesn't know. Yoon, Riaris, Ogra thinks Zed's really gone.
Ogra, did you think I was gone too?
Yes, but this feels very different.
We're gonna get him. I don't know how. We're gonna get him. All right. Okay. Just we have to.
And Ogra, seeing this, is just gonna hug Riaris.
Totally limp in your arms. 100%. I think whatever I might be carrying, Lance, whatever, just falls to the sand. Just totally limp. We're gonna get him back, Ogra. We have to get him back. We have to get him back.
We cut to Riara saying get him back over and over again. As there's a quick fade into you guys reaching the ship. Car, you still staying up there?
Once they're all over the ship, on the ship, Carl will land. He'll make a landing on the ship. He was just making sure everyone's getting off. Once everyone's off the island, he goes to the ship.
Nala comes up to you and goes, hey, can we just talk for a second?
Yeah, sure. And he'll go up to the vulture's nest, the vulture's roost.
Oh, okay. She flies up there with you. Hey, listen, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna look for him.
Yeah, well, I just, I've been alone for like, a long time, and I'm not really sure how this whole thing works, And
Car's realizing she's not apologizing. Car takes a deep breath and
okay, all right. If you need time,
No.
I understand.
No. Let me roll something. I don't usually roll my characters, but I don't know which way I want to go with this, so I'm going to do it.
The dice twisted this knife. I want everybody to know that. The dice did it.
So let me see. Okay. Card takes it. He goes, no. And with his, I'm assuming she's on my left, with his left hand, he'll take her right hand and he'll wrap his left wing around her. And he buries his concern for Zed for a moment and says, we'll work it out together. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But there is something you need to know.
All right.
We think we lost Zed down there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well,
Yanmemouri took him. Not, we can't find him. We saw Yanmemouri take him. And I am very carefully making sure my wing is covering hers and my hand is holding her tightly. Because I'm afraid she's going to try and run back there and do something.
yeah.
So I'm choosing this moment carefully, like I'm not going to let her go.
I will say you gave her advantage to do a thing that wouldn't be bad, which is great because I rolled a nat 1 on the first one and then a 15 on the other. So,
Okay.
I think she shares, Yoon and Riars's like response. Just she doesn't say anything.
I'll just keep my wing wrapped around her and just sit up there with her.
I think with a 15, yeah. With a 15, she ducks her shoulder down a little bit and switches places. Her wing goes and wraps around you, and it is warm.
And I'll lean into it and let her do that. I accept the comfort.
Yeah, I think as you both just kind of stare off in the roost. Yoon, what are you up to?
I think he's in whatever the main cabin is, and he has a bunch of pieces of paper out on the floor. He's thrown everything there that might be Zed's or whatever off to the corner, just kind of, clearly threw things out of anger, but he is now has pieces of paper next to each other, and he's drawing things out. He's drawing the tower. He's also kind of mumbling under his breath, like, so possibly a version of Selma, and destroyed Zed ships at the end of the sea, the red teardrop pendant. Chasing Zed. He sees a note that says chasing Zed, and he stops and he scratches that out. Then he continues. He's making a battle plan, but he has limited data, so, but for the moment he is also just furiously going through any information they had, trying to remember things, trying to write things down, which is something that he doesn't do very often. And I think he's in a sort of focus. He's pouring all of himself into that, to not do something else.
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage. Or you can choose to fail.
Well, I'll roll it. Who knows? The dice can... No. I rolled a 19 and a 1, so I choose to fail.
As you were poring over these, and you said these were actually these are papers that he had in his, it's his papers or it's your papers?
I think it's both. He's taking anything you could write on. It's very manic, haphazard. He has, I think it might even be parts of the logbook that he's torn out to put in places to look for things and whatnot. He's trying to do things, but yeah, it's he might even be writing on the back of trash that was just around his room. It could be any number of things. He's just trying to write it all out.
I think in this moment, as we see Yoon kneeling down on the ground and just scribbling and almost babbling at this point, just furiously locked into what is happening. We see in the doorway, we see Kaelinor peering in. You see that she kind of came to the door to probably say something. You don't see any of this. I think the camera sees this moment of about to say something and sees what Yoon's doing. Chooses not to. As she goes to turn to walk away, you see from the vantage point of a corner of the room where we see Yoon and Kaelinor behind, you see Kaelinor kind of tilt her head at something, bend down, take one of the papers, look at it, and a teary smile, roll it up, stick it in her pocket, and head back up on deck. Yef comes up to you, Riaris. Hey, okay, so I think I'm all ready to go on my end.
What? Okay. What does that mean? That's what? Griar's disheveled, getting on deck,
Yeah. I think
sailing the ship.
Then looks at Ogra, who's probably close by, I assume. Just if
Can you get us back to port, Yef?
Yeah.
Great.
Looks at Ogra again.
Ogra immediately has muffins next to her, and she's just wraps herself in one of his wings and just therapy cuddling, scratching, but has his wings around her. She does not want to talk.
Okay. All right. The trip
Yeah,
back.
we just.
Go ahead.
Well,
No,
I was
go
gonna do a small thing, just get Zed to pull up the. I'll get the anchor or whatever. Something.
I can get it. I can get it.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. The way back is slower. Being extremely careful and not having anyone to not only calm his nerves going back, but trying to make sure that he is not pardon the pun, making waves. In the process of going back, is there anything specific you guys want to do before you go back to town?
I think the only thing Riaris is doing is staring into the horizon and picking up some of the cans that he and Zed were just training with, and just looking at them and seeing the pierced holes through them of just however many hours ago they were together, and looking at it and just thinking to himself, this is not how this ends, and avoiding all contact, if at all possible, with anybody.
Yeah. There's a point where Kaelinor comes up to you, Riaris. Hey, I have something that, say, like, it in being greeted by Kaelinor, what is Riaris's response? Even just before she's saying what she wants to say.
I think that it's probably the only person he would listen to right now. I think he would just tune, maybe Ogra, but he would otherwise tune anybody else out.
Okay.
And so he's holding that thing and looking at it, and I think he just stops as he hears them speak.
I just wanted to show this to someone, but I know
What? Show what?
There's a reason why Zed was so quick and good with making that tiki bomb. That's all. And unfolds a paper that shows a list of all of the business plans that Zed had in figuring out how to make money quickly. And one of them is a pop-up tiki bar, sandcastle style. That's all it says.
After a moment or two of disbelief, Riaris looks at it and just shakes his head and can't help but smile. Wistfully, painfully, it's probably a few tears. Son of a bitch thought of so many more things.
Yeah.
What else is...
Well, if you look above there, there's the Whale Watch, and then right next to it says legit later. I don't know. I don't think I want to know.
I mean, I think I kind of do, but I also definitely don't. Fuck.
This other one says fish nursery, but I think it's not. It's not a fish nursery as much as it is a fish nursery. Like a nursery for your pet fishes? Maybe?
Why would anybody do that? I don't... well... not all ideas are
Well,
great.
it's low on the list.
Said. Yeah. There's like 40... how did he even... I mean, if there's a reason to get Zid back, it's to figure out whatever this is. What is this? Scuba diving? What do you know? What scuba? What is?
I have no
I
idea.
don't. I don't. I don't want to know what that is. Sounds terrible, but you know what? I don't want to admit it, but the tiki bar was pretty fucking cool, I have to say. So
This
maybe
last
scuba
one
diving's-
says Shock Rodeo. What's a rodeo?
It's a good question. I have no idea. To a sharks, I have never heard of a rodeo before, so I have no idea.
I'm so sorry to break the immersion. All of those ideas were mine. That last one is from Drew just now. So, Drew, thank you. Beautiful.
Hey, the new campaign in the Wild West, there will be shark rodeos.
Shark Rodeo. For sure.
Mechanical
Fancy.
shark rodeos.
Do you...
Take a look at. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think after looking at it for a moment and just look back up at Kaelinor, I don't know if these are the reasons we need Zed, but we keep saying it to myself. We got to bring him back, right? I'm not crazy with that, am I?
Yoon said that he saw him die. I don't know in this ever-changing concept of reality that is even a problem anymore, but I imagine it is, at least.
If anyone knows that death is not the end, I might know. But we have to make sure I'm gonna trail off a little bit, shaking my head. There are worse things that could happen to him, dead or undead. At the very least, we owe him that, right? At the very least. Not the worst. He deserves better than that.
Of course. I don't know if Yoon is okay.
Why? What's he doing?
Well, he's talking to himself in a way that's not the fun way. I know that we're all a bunch of misfits, that none of us are really fit to really lead. But I imagine this is more your field than mine.
Great. Just the person. Hold it in, Riaris. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I'll kind of holding one of the cans, chuck it overboard. Thanks, Kay. Now I'll go see what Yoon's up to. Where is he? Captain's quarters or something, I assume. Sitting in a nice fancy chair, perhaps.
Perhaps you should just go look.
I'll linger for a moment, and their eyes nod and, all right, head towards wherever Yoon is. And kind of put the paper, give them back the paper. Let's hold on to this for no matter what.
You got it. Packs it away. It's been probably about maybe about an hour.
Yeah, I mean, he's still writing things out, but what he's writing now are names. They're all over the place, but like each name has a little like line next to it, question marks of things, and just Lyria Aurelian, Librarian, Saishun, Casino, Farron Casillo, The First Light, people he knows, resources. He's writing out all the resources he can think of.
Do you think you've moved to a desk, or do you think you're still in that same spot? No,
he's still on the floor. It's still very, like, just trying to pour out everything he can think of, and yeah, it's not been organized yet or anything. He's still just on there.
Okay. Pretty harsh. That's what you walk into.
Riars takes a moment to adjust to the dim light. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he's mumbling is what I'm while you're in there.
Yeah. So I figured. Yoon, you in? Are you? Can I come in?
Call the Bagat. Oh, Riaris. Yes. Wait, no, you don't know anybody here. Come in. I need to finish this. It's been a long time since I had to try at anything. And she's gonna see what that's like.
Kaelinor said you were talking to yourself.
Well, I'm trying. Right, the information we've gathered about Yanmemouri, and I know a lot of. I'm the God's damned patriarch of Chukan. I must have more resources. Maybe Junbei can tell me what I have. I can talk to the Casillo family. They have a ship, the First Light. That's their flagship. It's an island of pirates.
These are all people you know. Looking at all the.
It's Junshan, Mingarelian, Chunbatu, Wei Gunbold, Osmanthus. There's the Gunbold brothers. There's Ethan, Nathan, Thaniel, Donathan, and Greg Gunbold. There's Farron Casillo. That's a suzerain of the Casillo family.
Okay. You breathe.
You have to get to know these people. I had to memorize these lists.
Breathe, Yoon. Okay. Are you? Look at me. Look at me. I'm gonna try to get close to Yoon. Get down, closest to his level, not all the way down. Breathe. What are we doing here? What is this?
We're going to war.
Okay.
We don't even know where she is.
What she can do, or
we know a little bit. We saw her. She has controlled waves. She can stop the moon. Maybe travel between dimensions. There's a lot of things. It doesn't matter. She's even gods can die, and so I'm sure she can.
I think you see a little wry smile on Riars's face, a little nod of appreciation towards that. And if I can, Joe, just to hand back the deck towards, if I can say I got it from Kaelinor to go back to Yoon, and hand back your deck of cards. all of these are great, Yoon, and I don't know how much I like you right now, but I do know that we need you as Yoon, as the patriarch of Chukan, whatever that means. I have no idea, really, Yoon, but you need these, we need you. Zed needs you, Zed needs us. I don't know the answers we got here, buddy, but we need your hand at the helm.
And he takes the deck and he goes to throw it out of a port hole nearby.
No,
throw it,
no, don't.
and he
No.
stops. He stops. If I'd had this, or if I'd done, it's my fault. I was the last one there to watch over you. We all know what he does. I let him do it. I thought maybe if anything went wrong, that I could twist fate enough to pull him back. And I tried, and I failed. But I should have stopped him earlier. Or if I had my deck, if I had not given this deck, I could have pulled a card. I could have done something. I was the last one there.
Kind of go towards you and to put softly on his shoulders, my two hands on his shoulder. You do give a shit, don't you? I knew you had it in you. You and, man, I thought the same thing. He probably saved my life. Putting his daggers under that thing. Now he's gone. Hey, we gotta figure this out, right? You told me it's not my job to save everybody, and it's not your job to save everybody either, Yoon. Okay?
Leo, the librarian, where I grew up, he used to say, if there's only one road to walk it with a smile. And the next time I see her, I'll be wearing a smile. You're right, though. We have to make a plan, and we have to figure out our next step, and
Yoon, we have to breathe. In moments, we need to breathe so that we can understand what we may not quite know yet. All of us. Ogra, Kar, Kaelinor, and spirits, forgive me, Nala as well. We need to breathe and figure this out. It's not just you, okay? And we need to make this decision together, not just one of us. All of us. It's the only way.
Well, I don't know what your obsession with air is, but you're right. And I'm sorry. Sometimes you just need to make a call, and there are moments, and we are trying to follow those moments because we need to shift things just enough. Oh, I see.
Feels good.
You do this regularly, you?
Breathing is
this
something I
breathing
try
thing.
to do often. Yes, yeah, I do try to breathe. It is important, yes. But deep breaths also. My people always said there's something in the winds, our ancestors, the spirits, everything flows through us when we can breathe deep. And the things we might not quite understand can give a little more clarity when we take the time to listen to them.
Well,
I don't feel like taking the time right. Yeah, I don't feel like taking the time right now, but I think we have to take the time. to do it.
Well, for now, let's go talk to our friends. And we can decide what we need to do. Together.
Bring all these contacts, though. These could be pretty helpful, I bet. This is probably
Well, I
pretty
mean,
good.
I have them memorized. I don't know why I wrote them out. I guess that other people can look at them. Or
I mean, now
maybe
if you
somebody
die,
else
we can
knows
call
them.
on them or something. Yeah, no, it's great.
Fair enough. Yeah, good. That's yes. Black humor is one of my favorites.
What is black? I don't understand. What is black humor? The contingency
Oh, you were being
plans.
pragmatic. You were being serious. Yeah, that's, you know what? Even better. Yes. Here, I will gather these up, and then here you can take them, and they have some. That's everything I could remember about Yanmemouri, and every name I remembered from the island that has a gun, a ship, a power, money, connections, anything.
Just take them and just start haphazardly just throwing them in the bag of holding, just some crumpled, whatever.
Yeah. Good.
Let's figure this out. And I kind of just give a longer side glance smile at Yoon, and I think you could just tell there's happiness, positivity, feeling of like, okay, let's figure this out. I'll follow your lead out or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we fade from here and fade back into Carvis's workroom. At this point, you can tell it's gotten dark, at least outside. Through the window, you can see there's a candlelight that has been it's been heavily lighted all around. And we can see, I think in the center of the table, we see what we'll call right now the Lunaris Solaris, sitting in the middle of the table. I imagine that you all have probably caught Carvis up. I would like to kind of know where everybody is in the room, but I will also say that that Nala has been pacing around the room, and I would like a perception check from everyone. Actually, insight check on everyone.
As a natural 20 for a 23 total.
Car got a 9. But I do have
22.
I have a question for you when this is over. When the rolls are over.
I got an 8.
Everyone who rolled I'll say a 15 or higher. I love that Riaris got a nat 20. I think it's so funny. Nala seems anxious, but she also looks like someone who is trying to figure out how to... Nala keeps looking at Riaris. And I would say for those that rolled like a 20 and up, it's kind of similar to someone who is nervously wanting to talk to someone about something important, but isn't really sure how to do it. Riaris, you've just been noticing this. I would say that she hasn't really necessarily been hiding it, but there's been so many important things that are kind of going on right now that it's that I think I just think in all honesty, you're probably just kind of tuning it out.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think they don't really, Nala and Riaris don't really have much of a relationship. So I think he generally is trying to avoid her when possible because shit kind of goes wrong when she deals with people.
Yeah.
But after the 6th time of like catching her eye, being like, oh, okay, what? We'll try to find a moment to step aside. I don't think he's going to call it out in the middle of whatever the discussion is. of like
Okay.
what's going on. But I think he tried to look and be like kind of raise his eyebrows or like, you know, some sort of motion towards her, like.
Cool.
What's
You
up?
do that. I think her immediate answer is to just kind of like shake her head and just like look away. I think what we're noticing here is something that I would say like when the opportunity comes, Riaris, you're going to be just like, I think full annoyed and just be like, what? So I think right now there's the thing right in front, and sorry to give you that little thing, but I just think in my head Nala would be annoying with this thought. So that's
I'm getting the impression that Nala wants to talk, not necessarily to me, but she just wants to talk. Or
no,
is it,
to you,
Okay.
specifically to you. The nat 20, it is to you for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
And only to you. But yeah, I think Carvis, who is either noticeably or absentmindedly not paying attention to this, is just kind of like just stroking his beard as he's staring at the thing in the middle of the table.
If I could, how has Carvis reacted to Yef being gone and or back or any of that?
Oh, that's a great question. I think you guys trumped it. He was with the recent news. He was not happy, but I would say that I think he was probably shouting and saying a lot of things to the group, and Yef just kind of like interrupted him and yelled, "Dad, just listen." And now we're kind of cut to that. So at this point, he's like, I think he's just like forgotten about it for a second.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
The blood thickens. So, Kaelnor, your understanding is that our leg up seems that one of our enemies does not know what they're looking for. To me, it sounds like the answer there is clear, is to make sure that the rest of them are found and confiscated in some ways. Anyone tried to destroy this?
I've generally read that destroying powerful magical items leads to powerful releases of magic. So it wasn't maybe on the ship, you know, but if you think you have you might have the tools to do more damage to it in time than I could do in or one of us could do.
No, I think you're probably right. It's lofty wishing, I guess.
I think I get
But-
the sneaking suspicion that if we tried to destroy it, it wouldn't work.
Well,
That monk could have destroyed it. I think he would have. Rather than what he ended up doing.
strange. Since you've left, I've tried to find as much information as I could on the towers itself. And though there are notes in passing of a figure that you all say to be Selma, this figure's not mentioned at all. I've scoured. I guess I am the resident expert of anything that is the popular understanding of these towers, which is not a lot.
Maybe he's not from here.
Nala at this kind of does like a quick glance to you, Yoon, and then looks away. Well, I appreciate you showing this to my attention, and I believe I understand the gravity of what was lost in keeping it. I assume that even... I'd say it was probably mentioned in passing that, like, Kobamu is... actually, I'll ask you guys, what do you think you told him about Kobamu?
I don't think I'm in the mood for deception, so specifically, I think I probably would have just told him what I said. I mean, he just wanted to leave. And as much as it,
Sorry.
you know, as much as it is a tragedy that somebody died as he broke out, like, when you live around, you know, gods and dragons, the little people die sometimes. It's no less sad, but it's, Kobamu is, you know, he doesn't, I don't feel like, he's barely alive at this point, barely thinking. The best thing to do is just to get him off the island.
I think I'd echo, while giving a pointed look towards Yuna, that we have an understanding with Kobamu to get him where he wants to go. It's not here. That he'll be okay until we do that.
Well, I must admit, selfish desires aside, it's quite a plate you've all taken, saving the world and bringing a dangerous passenger.
And killing Yanmemouri, don't forget about that.
Right.
And it was more, like, shoved at us than taken necessarily. You know, it's none of us set out really to do any of this.
Yeah, that you know, we're not from here, Yef and I. And when we first touched down, Sway was a very different place. And I needed a place to work, to collect my mind, to do what I felt good at doing. I had no intention on being whatever I am to these people. But it's been, 10 or so years now. So I get what you mean by feeling shoved into a direction. But taken as someone who is seemingly allowed fate or what have you, to move me where I am most needed. It's also where I am the happiest. He's looking at Yef as he does this. In the end. For whatever comfort that gives.
Sometimes you have to be willing to let fate move you. And sometimes you move it. But when the call comes, it can be important to take it. Even if those around you would rather you not.
Sarah, roll me a d4.
One.
Nice. Well, I imagine you may need some little time to plan and get your house in order, as it were. I took a look at your plans, Yoon, and looking at everything that is listed on here, there are a couple things that may take me a little bit more time, but you've caught me at a bit of a understanding of where my time should be in this moment, and I of course want the world to be saved for my son and I, so it doesn't make sense really to do anything else when you know that you have a hand on making that happen. So I will be working tirelessly. I think 3 or 4 days it'll be ready. Shooting for 3. You of course can stay here if you'd like. We have made a makeshift sort of space also for Yuka's area that has now kind of taken the places sort of the Rooken Castle. So you may stay there if you'd like as well. Yuka is not very happy on the suggestion of a slight addition to the drink menu, but we do have some very thirsty sailors that come through here, and she is begrudgingly understood for now. It would be helpful in case anyone needs to let go in that way. Hate to say it, but I am very interested in what happens when 2 of these are together.
We did tell you, we don't recommend you touching it. The new one.
I gathered
do you
that
have
when it was placed on the table. But yes.
do you have a safe spot where we could test? I know you have that room where you held the first one. Safe to perhaps prying eyes, or also to negative effects. We don't know what we're doing here, but I'd like to find out more about this new Solaris Lunaris or Lunaris Solaris reversed?
Yes, the clean room is available for anyone who needs to be using any sort of magical item without its magic. That's certainly possible. And I can also make sure that that wall disappears, so no prying eyes get to it. Are you offering or asking me to me to take this off your hands permanently, or?
No.
Okay.
Just as a way so that we can understand more, I think.
Very well. Well, either way, I will be in your debt for many years to come, I imagine. It's the least I can do.
While we are here, is there anything we can do to help you or the people of Sway for what we've brought here?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind right now is when I was put into this very, very unofficial seat of power, I was able to do things that were just good for everyone involved and didn't really have to work out or deal with any of the muckety-muck of social politics. But since the Rook and Crown is now soot and sunder, there has been many people that have tried to ask me if we needed a fish shop or a place to house their treasures of the sea to sell. Or someone wanted it to be a... Well, I won't get into it.
I like the name Soot and Sunder.
That's
Sounds
a
like
good ring to it.
It is rather fitting to its recent history.
sometimes the word sundry was used to describe, various foods we had. What about a restaurant?
I imagine that, speaking plainly, I am a dwarf. I imagine a restaurant drinking hole is always a place of merriment from where I come from.
It seemed like the place was suited to what it was, but maybe just needed a fresh start. Of course, who would own it?
That is a question. Well, you asked if there was anything you could help with. That is one thing you certainly don't have to. I imagine there's a lot of things you want to be handling on your end as well.
You have a firing range.
Do we have a firing range? Is that what you're asking? Not right now. I could make one.
Well, I just thought, if I'm gonna be here for a few days, I could work on my aim. Especially with the kind of genius ammunition that you've been making. It's really a shame to miss.
I have one of the longer factory floors that are all designed to be sound deafening for the outside. I can make sure that that is cleared out.
Thank you. I think that's really all from. Books. It's been a long time, but I need to study up. I know you have some. I'm not asking to borrow all of your books, but there was I guess there's no real library here. There's the what was it called? The booty.
Yeah, Nala's place.
Right, the
Booty
hole.
Booty Bay. No, Booty Bay Cartography.
Bay.
Yeah, I planned on. Oh, well, I guess. Do I need your permission for that? I don't know if that's how that works. I planned on grabbing everything and closing up shop, so I guess you probably have another open spot to put whatever you need.
I mean, we've already closed one establishment, Nala. You can't close the Booty Bay. Seems to be,
I'm coming.
Well, we designed the ship for it.
I think when Ogra hears Nala's coming, Ogra's just gonna look like right at Nala, and Ogra still is like red-faced or pink-faced from crying all day, and Ogra just like lightly says, "See, you do care and can see people's feelings."
Well, don't want you to have all the fun.
There'll be plenty of room for all of your books. I made sure of that.
I appreciate it.
I kind of want to say Ogra's looking out the window, and while you guys were having this whole conversation, you would see her just doing this with her hands, looking out the window. And in her mind, she doesn't like that no one knows what happened to Zed, and Zed would love something big and flashy. So if you look outside the window in the clouds, this is above the city.
You're gonna have to describe it. It's really hard to see.
It's a picture of Zed.
It's a drawing of Zed, and Ogra asked Nala how to spell some words, and in the sky, above Zed's picture, it says, "Admiral Zed, greatest captain, reckless till the end."
Beautiful. Car, where are you during this?
Carr is just standing as he usually does when he's with mixed groups that aren't just the Wreckless. He's just standing back watching.
Cool.
With his wings draped over his shoulders like a cloak. Probably not sticking to the shadows because he's trying to hide, but just that's where he feels comfortable. He's used to just being quiet and letting people move around him.
Got it. I think the car out of the corner of your eye, being kind of closer to the darkness and being by the dark window, you do see that kind of like lit up in the sky.
If Carr could smile, he would. But the beak is not good.
We figured that out in Humblewood, that you bird smile, everybody gets the gesture.
Yeah, that's Humblewood. Who knows?
Smile in the eye.
If I can get access to some Humblewood feats, then I'll smile. That'd be cool.
Riaris, you see Car just as angry as ever.
There's a flip between like, why is Nala still staring at me? What the fucking car? Being like, oh god, oh my god, I can't deal with this.
Yeah. Well, I can't believe I will have to say this again as a dwarf, but sounds like I have quite the workload tomorrow. Happy to do it, but I do need to get some rest, as I imagine all of you will need to do the same. But Yuka's place, there's a name for it. I forget what it is right now. I'll find it later. But Yuka's place is, of course, open to you all, and if you are in need of any, just tell Yuka it's on me.
Thank you, Carvis.
Okay, thank you.
Unless there's anything else you want to ask him.
No,
Obviously, you could do that.
I'm good. Yeah, that's. I did want to. I think before this, Yoon would have asked Carr at some point if he saw Zed. You know, like, I think he looks over at him occasionally, just kind of, and maybe he's even beginning like, you know, any luck, and just kind of waiting to see if he sees him at some point. So I think I kind of look at him on the way out and kind of, you know, he knows what that look is at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Say, Car, do you want to know?
Do I want to know what? Have I seen it?
Yes.
Yes, of course I want to know.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
But I was going to do something ahead of when I said.
Yeah, please. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm handling everything.
Well, the question I had was, did it get dark before we died?
Say that one more time.
Did it?
Yeah,
get
I think
dark
it's nighttime.
before I know it's
Sorry.
nighttime when we're here, but did it? You kind of sped up time. Did it get dark before we arrived?
Before you arrived.
It's about
No.
quarter of a day trip or something, right?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I would say
Well,
it's
we will-
probably. I mean, it's close to it. Maybe it's sunset.
Yeah, what Carr would like to do is he wants it to be night, so I'll just roll my religion check. So, 13,
Beginner's luck.
which I forget. That adds
D4.
night.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. It's just D4.
So 13 plus 1, 14. Because I'm
14 is enough. I would say this happened during the meeting.
Okay.
You feel it.
Okay. Then there's two things I want to do when this meeting is over.
Yeah.
And when I don't give Yoon a response yet, and luckily since I can't smile or really look any differently than I usually do, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
and it's just a
impassive.
look at this point, so he just, yeah.
Right.
He
And
walks
so
by.
I don't do it yet.
Mhm.
I don't tell him yet because there's something I would like to do.
Okay. Yeah. Where do you guys go? Do you guys find a place to bed down for the night in Carvis's place? Do you go to Driftwood Delights, which has now become a nighttime bar as well?
I would go back to the ship, unless the ship is currently being used. You know, I don't know. We had talked about, like, you know, but I'd go back to the ship, I think.
Cool.
I
Yeah, there's plenty of work of demolition still.
I need to go to 2 different places, and I will walk off by myself noticeably so that they know I'm going, and if anyone wants to come with me, they can. I'm not trying to sneak off. I just peel off from the group.
I probably would. I think. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. You go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, just peel off from the group, but not like I'm trying to hide. Like, I just walk in a certain direction.
I would probably follow Car. I think as soon as we kind of get an earshot, I am eventually going to be like, look at Nala and be like, why are you? What is going on? Why are you looking at me? What is happening? What is that?
I don't want to be rude.
Nala, what? Nala, I would just want to hear what you have to say.
I'd like to know where everybody is in this moment here.
I imagine it's almost like right outside Carver's door, like the elevator going down is when I am going to be. So if everybody's going down, that's when I'm doing it. Being like, I can only take so much of this.
That awkward elevator music is playing. In the background.
Isabel standing there holding another bell for whatever reason, you know. Yeah.
Oh,
Scene
sorry.
from The Hangover.
Can you excuse me? Just trying to get some work in before tomorrow. Well, so Zed's gone, right?
So it seems at the moment.
But you see us, you know, saving the world or working to save the world. Has it changed in any other timeline where Zed is not there?
No.
Okay. So, and is everybody here? I think the car has walked off, right?
If we are outside of the elevator,
Yeah.
the car is probably slowly. Yeah, unless he's called or told to stop.
Yeah, I think it's like it's up to you. It's like I think Nala's having a conversation. It's not really sure if she's worried about stepping on toes. Like she's worried about saying something that is going to seem rude or crass or whatever, or not crass. But yeah.
Out of character, above board, shocked as all hell. She's growing.
Yeah, right.
So, but Carr has a mission in mind, so he's, unless someone says, "Hey, Carr, stop," then Carr's gonna just continue walking quietly.
Cool. Okay. How do I put this so can we not go get another one?
That is really not where I thought you were going with that.
Another one?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were gone, Nala, could we just get another one of you?
If it was a difference between the end of the world and not the end of the world, I'd say go for it. She lies.
Go. What is? Nala, what is your point? What? I don't know. No, every time I have seen us get further, it is all of us involved. So no, I don't know the answer. I don't know there's another Zed. What are you asking?
But you do. You've told us that you've seen different versions of us in different. Well, you see different versions of the world, right? So that must mean that we're different people in those. We just go back. Or we go to our past, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how this works. You haven't explained it to me. I haven't been able to work out the math. There's no math for this.
We have no ability to go into different timelines or
redstone.
Or
this redstone. I want to describe whatever this stone that I've gotten before that I stabbed myself with.
Yeah.
Just like stream of consciousness. Be like this. This is what, I don't know, just word vomiting.
You have to stab yourself with it.
Not what I'm worrying about right now.
Okay, so
we need that. Yes, no, another Zed. I mean, yeah, that's a fucking pretty good idea.
Exactly.
It's so when I went back and I met Selma, and I was there, and I was with another one who looked, his name was Peter. He looked just, it reminded me, and I spent time, and each hit was creating an arrowhead, a dagger, or something that I could use. And it was this, I've never seen it before, never seen it since, but it was this red, almost gemstone. And
for clarification, it was like a calcite white.
Calcite white. So when I say red,
it would be red with your blood.
White. See, right. So I'm so used to seeing it spill my heart.
Such a weird colorblind.
I've had that red in my mind the whole time. So when I say red, I'm talking about white for sure. This white, and I don't know, but yeah, Nala, maybe. I mean,
I was
you've
so
said
sure someone was going to hit me.
No, this is. I don't know how to get this. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how to do it. But if we found this thing, fuck, we could find.
The whole thing is very weird, Nala. If you're not polite about it, this isn't normal conversation territory. You know, it's and I don't know. I mean, we don't even know if this Riaris is our original Riaris. But I don't care. This is our Riaris now.
Yeah.
Was it a stone that was it just like a calcite? Was it the stone itself that was important, or like how you made it that was important? Or I suppose both.
Yes. But if we do,
yes. Do you have?
I don't know. I don't know where it's from. I don't know where it came
minerals?
from.
We can go
Mines.
find a book
There
to check
was-
through to see if you could see something.
Where I was at, there was a camp, and they had a lot of them, and they were making. Maybe it's there. It was by the mountain.
It wasn't like the crystals we saw. It was. Yeah.
No.
And you weren't. Were
You
you where
saw
we
it.
were?
You saw it when I came, and I found you guys, and you were fighting her. Not you, Nala. Sorry, now I'm pointing at you. But Yanmemouri, and I had it in my hand. You saw it. It was white. I don't. We could find that. We could find Zed. We could find a Zed.
Could you go to another time and find a Zed?
When I. Yes. When I did it the first time, I thought about where you all were, and I thought, and that's how I got there. So, if yes. I don't know how, but yes, we can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, great. Oh,
Why didn't you say something earlier? We
need
were
to
all
find
up there
that-
talking about what
we
were
need to
you
find
just
that
looking at
stone.
me?
I just was trying to be. I did. What's a good way to say, like, hey, just go get another one?
That's a good point. It's pretty.
Let's establish it now. If any of us die, if I die, or you can replace me, and I won't be mad.
What?
Okay.
what?
I was talking a strong game in response to that. If I die, don't try to.
Well, you're not one of the,
What?
So where'd
Nothing.
Cargo? We should go follow wherever he went and see the boat. Dude, you.
Ogra is not there either. I want to
Yeah.
say.
I think Riaris does like a sharp elbow to you, and like at that, like. I love that so much. Yes, beautiful. Car! Shit, you guys.
It's nighttime and he's black. He's gone. I mean, welcome to my life now. Looking great.
Car, if you do not want to be found, give me a stealth check with advantage, sir.
What if I don't care?
You can choose to fail. Yeah, totally fine.
Okay, then I don't even roll.
You got it. I will say everybody who has to still has to roll probably above a 10 because of how hard it is. But Nala is okay. All right. Oh, I see him. Unless that's a very big orc in a black jacket. Nala catches up to you. This will be fun. Hey. You know that thing that I didn't want to talk to you about to tell you? Yeah, they're all on board. Oh, I guess you don't know. We're gonna go find another Zed.
What?
Well, Riaris, you tell him.
Is he there?
Yeah, I think I imagine they.
I don't know if you guys
It's
like
up to you- it's
flying
up to you
somewhere,
guys.
and I'm like, I'm not flying. Sure. Yeah, I'll be there. I think I would want to look for a car. I think I'd want to eventually just chasing after Nala as she just zooms off.
Cool. You get there right when. Yes, you could probably explain it better
You
than
are
I
way too
could.
fast. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Car is looking very. You haven't seen him like this before. He looks very calm.
Yeah, I think that's why Nala passed the buck.
So he's just looking very almost sedate, and he just looks at you. Riara's waiting.
So, Car, you know how? Oh, fuck.
There.
It's been a long day. Okay. When I found you guys and you were fighting Yanmemouri and whatever, and we came there and we got out, and there was this white stone. We could use that. I could use that to go to a different timeline and find another Zed, because we need Zed. Zed 6. We need us. You two, Nala. You're 7, 6, right? That's all part of the numbers. And we need to find. We could find Zed. We could find another Zed. If we find this thing.
If we find what? What are we looking for again?
It's a stone. It's white. It's I've been told it's like a white calcite is how it's been described to me in my mind. And if we found that's what I was able to use to find you, to get us out. I don't know where it is.
Let's have some fun here. Car, roll me a nature check.
Okay. Nat 1.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Understood, dice. Got it.
Sorry. But yeah, Car says that sounds like a really good idea. When will we start looking?
Right? Yeah, I thought so. I mean,
No, it truly is. When would we begin looking for this gem?
I don't know.
Uh.
Maybe if there are maps of mines or something before Sway or something looking at Nala,
yeah, I can.
there could be something.
Yeah, I can check my stuff.
Great. So maybe after we rest, we could go tomorrow.
Or we could go tonight. Which it's nothing.
We could go tonight.
We should probably go tomorrow.
Tomorrow sounds great.
I think that's a great idea.
Where are you going, Car? You vanished.
I have work to do.
Okay. And I think I'll look at Nala. I don't know who else is around, but I'm like, oh,
I
what?
think Nala has advantage on this roll. That's a 2 and a 3. I don't know what's going on. Nala has rolled like horseshit this whole time.
You're all
Joe's
in
burning dice now.
stress right now.
Seriously, man. Okay. Yeah. What are you?
Can we help? Is this just for you?
No, but I don't mind you coming with me. There's nothing you can help with, though.
Should we get Ogre and Yoon if they're not with us right now? And Kaelinor?
Truly, this is something that the Ashwing usually do by ourselves.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But I'm also not accustomed to doing it on non-Arakocra. So, although I have a job to do, this is relatively new territory for me, with the exception of the goblins. So you can come if you like, but I have work to do.
You see Nala kind of like lean in a little bit to Rios. I've never seen this before.
I'm laughing and out of character. That's not Car.
Riaris was hoping Nala could make sense of this. What do we do? What are we doing exactly, Car?
Well, one person has died, and I suspect 2 have within the past 24 hours. I don't know there are people who can perform rites, so I'm going to see if I can find out about them.
I want to know. I think, do we all want to know?
If it's okay.
Normally when there are Kakra, it's just the people, it's just us, the Ashwing and the deceased, but I'm the only Ashwing and the deceased aren't with us, so I'm going to do my best to find out what I can find out.
Man, would Nala wonder this? Okay, sure. New dice, new Nala. Would it be okay with the other family that we would be there? Or maybe we should just wait until you're doing this for the Zed that we're...
Right now, I'm just trying to find information. I don't know what to do yet.
Okay.
That's why if you'd like to come with me, I fear you may be bored, but you can come. I wasn't trying to sneak away. I just thought you might be interested.
I mean, you snuck away like you just left. I just wanted you to know that's what you did do.
He might have just walked. I don't know.
I look at Riara square in the eye.
Oh, God.
And just say, if I didn't want you to notice me, you wouldn't have.
I didn't. I only saw you because Nala flew.
And you still would not have found me. I did not sneak away. Remember, I can turn invisible when I wish.
You don't need to remind me of that. It's fine. I don't need to know that at all.
You feel Nala leaning closer. It's okay, I have detect magic. And she's too close, so it also is like it's uncomfortable on many levels.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah, this is very uncomfortable. Is Yoon and or Ogra or anyone else here? Or is it just the three of us?
You guys
I think I'm looking at like
Ogra is nowhere to be seen.
Ogra's not there.
Okay, Ogra's gone. I think Kalenor's here for simplicity.
Yeah, I think he was planning on going the ship, but
I was actually going in the direction of the ship because I'm going to
then he's probably kind of caught up at some point then.
I think awkwardly look over and all right, you come in and we.
Car just turns around and keeps walking towards the ship because Riaris. There needs to be a conversation with Riaris, but now is not the time.
So. Keep saying that. Yeah, I'm pot committed to follow. And
so,
okay.
Yeah, I'm just planning going to the location where the orc died.
Cool, you got it. You head in that direction. Ogra, what are you up to?
Ogra is very sad. And she knows when people are very sad and want to forget and not be sad, they go and drink.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to the bar.
Okay. You got it. Roll me a d20, please.
A 9.
Okay. Cool. The weird thing about this is that Driftwood Delights is still, it is still a seaside cafe and bakery. So at night, you're smelling crazy smells as they're making like the stuff for the next day. And you see there are figures that are all kind of sitting up. There's a table that has been made around Yucca that has just like spirits kind of pushed off to the end, and people have just been like sharing and trying to like it's just a seaside cafe and bakery that you're allowed to bring alcohol into, basically. Like, it just looks like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's not a bar necessarily, as it's just a place where all these different alcohols are just there.
So there's just a table of alcohol.
Yeah, just a table of alcohol. Yep, pretty much.
Ogre takes one glass and downs it.
Okay.
And she's just going to go down the entire table.
Well, hold on. Time out. You said glass. You tell me how Ogre knows the difference between a bottle and a glass.
She's just picking up like what's ever there and just...
Yeah, great. Roll me a D20 Constitution save. Or an, DC 20.
Constitution?
Yes.
That's a 21. I've rolled a 19.
Beautiful. Cool. You do hear a number of people kind of like, whoa, hey, wow. Okay. As you finish, I would say like an entire bottle of whiskey. Yeah, exactly. Dan had the right reaction. Because I don't think Ogre knows the difference.
No.
Yeah.
Like, she's only had like 3 drinks in her life this past month. We've been adventuring together.
Yeah. Ogre, it is the most disgusting thing you've ever tasted. And... Okay, cool. You see a figure kind of come up to you. Actually, I'll say like you're probably paying attention to what you're doing here with like the drinks and everything. You hear a figure kind of come up to you and sit next to you. Everything all right, Lev?
No. Oh, Ogre knows yours when you don't want to feel anything, and that saying, drown your sorrows away. You get one of these and just drink it all, and then it goes away, but nothing's going away.
Right. Well, the second part of that is they don't normally just say that part out loud. Maybe you slow down on the... Oh, you finished an entire... I'm impressed. Maybe we use this for the next one? And, like, takes a glass and sets it in front of you. But I'll join you. My name is Lagoon, by the way. And you turn and you look at Lagoon. Lagoon is a straight-up chameleon.
It looks like a fish on a humanoid body.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he's
this the guy Zed wanted to take on the ship with us?
No, this is new. Lagoon is new.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lagoon. Why don't you tell me what's been going on?
Ogre's lost so many people this past 2 weeks, months. Ogre doesn't even know what time is anymore because we keep going back and things keep going forward, and then we go to another place, and first it was part of everybody, then it was Fang, then other Ogre's friends, and now it's Zed, and Zed was like, he was like he got on Ogre's nerves, but he was one of those people who thought that Yoon would say fate. He was too stupid to even listen to fate to die or something.
All right,
that.
yeah. Okay, you're shouting. All right, that's fine.
Well, this isn't working.
Okay, well,
I'm just
hold
gonna
on.
pick
Well,
up another bottle and just start.
Whoa, hey, hold on. As you see him kind of grab it, you see his hands just become translucent around the bottle. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's slow down a little bit on that. I'll pour, you talk. Now listen, you told me a lot of things about how your friend Ogre is feeling. How are you feeling?
Ogre is Ogre.
What?
Ogre is Ogre.
Okay, but how are you feeling, dear?
Ogre is Ogre, and Ogre is feeling what Ogre just told you.
Oh, shit. Okay, great. Okay, I understand. Sorry.
Wait,
Didn't know.
wait. And she's gonna squint her eyes and look him dead in the eyes. Are you with the Merlin Loke before we talk anymore?
Am I with the Merlot? No, I'm not. Do I look like I'm with the Merlot? Do I look like they would take me? Go ahead.
Dirty 20.
Okay, 20. Dear, I'm a lizard.
Okay, Ogre's gonna talk, and Ogre doesn't like saying this. Yoon called it half-truths because there's stuff we can't talk about.
Okay, is Yoon also you, or is Yoon someone else?
No, Yoon is our leader, but not our captain, because Zed was our captain. He's the one who passed away.
Oh, was that was Ogre in the sky doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was lovely. I didn't realize that was a send-off. Have you had a proper funeral yet, or?
We don't even have a body.
Oh, it's a shame. Well, takes the bottle, pours a glass. To Zed.
To Zed.
Nope, honey, the glass. Put the bottle down. Just take the glass.
To Zed.
And you share a drink with this this creature named Lagoon. Beautiful. I think as we fade out from there, we will take this opportunity to take our 10-minute break. So, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes. And we are back. as we jump back in, Car, you are heading back to heading back in the direction of the ship, but also in the direction, I assume, to the shipyard where the Serpent's Whisper is as well.
Wherever
correct?
the orc died.
Yeah, cool. You see, as you are passing by, you actually see there is a little bit of torchlight while you guys are heading up there. As you see, there is a couple figures, maybe still at work. It's hard to tell. But as you get closer, I'll say everybody besides Ogra, give me a perception check. 12. Evan, you're muted.
No, you're muted.
Okay. All right.
Got a 7.
Yeah, 15 for yours.
15-7. Cool. Riars, as you come up, there's a moment where I think for everybody there's a moment of like, just because everything's just been so on edge, seeing figures with torches around the area way past the like working hours. You I think are like instinctively kind of like hand to the hip sort of like thing. But as you get closer, you notice they are. I mean, I don't know if this makes you feel any better. They do look like there are two orcs. You can see like heavy hoods kind of around them as they're looking around about where it's basically the same place you guys are at. That like kind of like that bottom sort of like hole in the hull of the ship. Depending on how close you guys get, it's up to you.
Car would approach close enough so we can be seen by the torchlight.
Okay.
Then
Got it.
wait.
Okay, cool. We'll roll their perception check. Okay, yeah, not bad. Alright, well, I guess we can, get started on moving these crates tomorrow and bring in, as you recognize, Drekka's voice.
Does he notice us?
I don't think he notices you just yet. He seems to be talking to another large orc figure. I'm trying to find his, but where the heck is he? There he is. As he kind of like turns in that moment, like just kind of turns and starts like, go, hello. Oh. Are you headed take me away?
We don't do that exactly. No.
Okay, well you almost did.
I will I'll approach him now that he's
Yeah. Well, what's up?
We're there. Well, I don't mean to insult you, given that you are an orc, so please take this question as a simple curiosity and trying to help. Are there those who can give your fallen friend last rites in the protection?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know him like that. I guess you could ask his, he lived with his sister. She's, well, I guess, she's about a half mile in that direction. Well, they're all huts. I guess I'll just take you. It's fine. Bells, we're gonna finish it up for the night. As you see him, you see the other orc kind of like just like kind of nods. He's gonna slink away.
Okay. I'll follow him in silence unless he talks to me.
Cool. Anything the rest of you guys want to be doing in this moment?
No, not really. I mean, I think if I, at any point that where Car kind of splits off, I think Ewan splits off and goes to the ship.
Okay. So you split off here?
I think so. Yeah, I think Ewan's not comfortable going through the funeral procedures or whatever he's talking about, and I think he just kind of splits off and kind of goes over to the ship and goes in.
Gotcha.
If I guess seeing that, I think if we are, so we could look at you and say, "You want company, or you good?"
I'm fine. And I kind of. I think I'll keep my own company tonight. Thank you.
A nod and nothing more, and I'll follow the procession of Car.
You got it. Kaelinor does like a little double take, but then follows Riar's. Car, you come up to a just small hut in the beach. You can see there's a little torchlight that's there. She might be. Well, I always will check. Cursor. You up? You see a much smaller female orc. Still, I'd say even it's smaller in the terms of like she's like 5'11". Still like that same sort of like kind of like lockjaw sort of thing. Honestly, kind of like in a way, I'd say is somewhat similar build to Ogra actually. Yeah, what do you want?
Did she step out, or is she?
She steps out. She has like this like kind of like shawl wrapped around her a little bit. You can tell that she's got that like kind of like she's got that orc gruff persona, but I would say like you can tell there's probably a little bit more catch up on those words.
Okay. If I pause long enough to see if Dreka is going to speak for me, because that's what I'm doing in situations in public, but if he doesn't, after a moment, I will.
All
right.
First off, Jack reading the mumble and knowing that's all he was gonna say.
Yep.
Best part of the night for me. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So Car's looking up at her because he's in a crouched position. He's not standing at his full height.
Okay.
And my name is Car, and I'm sorry for your loss. I wasn't sure if there were people here who could give proper rights to your brother. And if you needed assistance, I was offering my aid. And if not, I will leave you to your grief.
Roll me a persuasion check.
13.
Okay. You all from the crew that came in?
I look behind me to see who's gathered.
Yeah.
And I say, with the exception of Dreka, we were all on the ship, yes. I'm waiting for the anchor. Car has mentally steeled himself in case that happens.
adventures, I assume. Heroes. Whatever, I don't care. I assume that some of this is because you realize that it's your fault. And I guess I appreciate you. I guess it's better than no amends, but you can stuff it.
Car nods and walks away. And as he's turning, he says, and because he's not going to argue with it.
Yeah. Anything from Riars?
No. I think I would just bow my head and just say, I'm so sorry, but I am not trying to get involved here.
Cool. You got it. Yeah. Nala kind of does a double take for a second and just kind of, all right, and just kind of walks off. As she walks off, you, you feel you feel her like slip her, taloned hand into yours. Sorry, I know that was probably pretty hard.
Oh, that's Nala to me as we're walking away?
Yeah.
Carp takes a beat, not really sure how to say this to Nala. And he takes long enough so that he's out of earshot of the deceased sister. And he says, "Wow, I don't agree with her summation. And this isn't the first time I've been accused of things that..."
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Joe.
All right, I'm talking quietly. That's my fault. I said, I don't agree with her summation first, and it's not the first time I've been accused of being guilty of something because I handled the dead. So, not easy, that would be correct, but also not unexpected, not the first, or certainly the last time I'll hear it.
I could just go back there and try to explain that wasn't what happened.
I squeeze her hand and continue walking and say, "I appreciate that more than you know. In fact, you might be the first person to offer that ever. But I think it's best that we just leave her to her grief and her beliefs."
Yeah, all right.
And I walk quietly until I think I can find myself. I'm thinking it's probably a dock, as far over the ocean as I can be.
Okay.
Where I can crouch and be perched, but my wings can still touch the water. Like if I'm hanging, where my pin feathers can still touch the water.
Okay. You got it. Yeah, I would say you are ironically pretty close to the ship.
Okay.
I'd say I'd say probably because the idea of just trying to maybe keep Yoon's privacy, you guys can be like a dock over, but the docks are pretty close together. So
I'm not trying to invade.
Yeah.
However, once I get to the dock, I let Nala's hand go and I continue walking off to the very edge of the dock. And if she follows me, she does. But this is it's kind of like as if to say, this is what I do.
Yeah, I think as soon as you let go, she stops. She tries to kind of obey and observe here.
And I will crouch on the edge of the dock, let my wings fall over so the pin feathers are slightly in front of me, so the pin feathers are in the water. And I cast Borrowed Knowledge. And I'm trying to find out what would be the rights for a sea elf who's died when there's no mud. So I'm trying to call up spirits from the sea to tell me what to do.
Beautiful. Give me a religion check with advantage.
I'll take the 21.
Beautiful.
Better than the 6. So, or 8, I guess.
You see a figure. I think, again, this has been happening more and more lately, but it is also something that is still probably a little surprising for Carr. As you see a figure that kind of comes up out of the water, that same sort of like ghostly sort of image, but it is not an Aarakocra.
Right. That's. So, Jack was hoping for that. Carr is surprised.
Yeah. You see what looks to be a very conventionally beautiful female sea elf, looking somewhat similar to Clem in a way, but as you see her kind of open her eyes, she still has those very like wide sort of like angular eyes that seem to be kind of like very similar to Zed's in a way. Hello.
My name is Carr.
Hello, Carl.
How shall I refer to you?
You can call me Mira.
Sorry to disturb you, Mira. I seek your assistance.
Jack, I'm having a hard time hearing you,
I
sir.
will, I'm trying to talk quietly. So I will
Yeah.
pretend I'm talking quietly and respectfully.
Yeah. I think it's more than just the volume, but I think a normal, a better volume will sound better.
Okay, so I say, I'll repeat that. I say, I apologize for disturbing you, but I seek your assistance.
Well, this is very odd, but I'm here to assist where I can.
A friend of mine, who is a sea elf, and I remember the feeling that I had before, and I take a pause and say, has recently died. But we do not have his body, and I want to make sure someone can do the rights for him.
I see.
Can you guide me?
I can. That was my job when I was living.
It's my job now for my people.
Yes. I would say that the irony is uncanny, but I imagine it's not irony.
Probably not. When shall we begin?
Well, the difficulty of not having a body is not so much a problem if there is a current that you are able to find that is a common or a recent area where the departed had spent time.
All over this island. I kind of chuckle knowing Zed.
I apologize. It is somewhat unclear. I can see you, but everything else around is mist. So,
I'm on a dock near the ocean.
I see.
I try to get close to the water for him.
Well, is there an area that he might have?
He owned a ship. Swam around it a lot.
That might work. Is there a Is there an area where there would be a current in water flowing in a specific direction? That is usually the easiest spot for these rites. And I would say Car, or Riaris, anybody who's like kind of like hanging back up here. I think Jack is frozen. Maybe?
Jack does look frozen. Yep.
See when he comes back in. But I will say, if Car doesn't think about it, Riaris, you think about the bridge.
Oh.
The river
like
that went out
leading
to the sea.
Leading into Sway or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We'll pause here, so we're waiting for Jack to come back in. Yoon, what are you up to?
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay, I was talking to you too. I was like, how about this? I was giving you suggestions, and I'm like, not listening to me. Anyway, sorry.
No worries. I think we'll take this moment as we're kind of recuperating to be able to kind of just move over to where Yoon is during this conversation.
Okay. I'm gonna see what was wrong with my computer.
Is there let's assume there's a mirror on the ship somewhere.
Yeah.
So, Yoon is looking in the mirror brightly.
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna work with you. No.
Isn't that what I'm doing?
Okay, I'm sorry. I stepped away and I didn't turn off my volume. I apologize.
No problem.
Bye.
You're good.
Where were you? When we started, yeah, a goddamn cannonball flew through the city and clipped a man's head off. That's luck. That's chance. Down there, I couldn't make him dodge a hand. Where is all this power that you supposedly had? Why is it a trickle at a time? I thought you were more than that. I thought you were connected to something more than that, or you were something more than that. Or that we are something more than that, or that just... Where have you been every time? We are scraping by the skin of our teeth. And maybe the twins just appreciate a little drama, and I can appreciate that as well. But if we're, then that should be more than this. And he just kind of smashes the mirror, I think, at that point. As he, maybe not even intentionally, I think he just kind of, I would say it's a little, leaning against the wall, and he just kind of throws it off the wall, and he just yells out, "Where are you?" And you look at him, and it's just him. There's nobody else there with him. And I think at that, he just goes back to... I don't think he wants to go to Zed's cabin or what was there. I think he just goes to the deck of the ship. And I think he just sort of sits down and he takes out a deck of cards and he just starts sort of dealing hands to himself and looking at the hand and reshuffling the deck and dealing a hand, looking at the hand, and just doing that over and over again while he sits there.
Give me a religion check.
That would be a working class 20.
You know, it's very hard to serve yourself a deck with only 51 cards. As you see a white-haired figure, very translucent, to the point of Yoon, I don't know if Yoon even really cares at this point, but the idea of this could be in my head sort of kind of like pops up. As you see her kind of like sit with her kind of this I don't know what they're called, these like larger sort of like very baggy pants that she's now resting on the top kind of like railing of the ship and just kind of like hugging her knees, staring at you.
I thought I was playing with a stacked deck. The last time you brought us back. But I think I understand that if you win too much at the table, the other players start to get suspicious. But I could have used a win today.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so could. So could have Ellis, It's the orc that didn't make it. Or his sister. Heck, Drekka. I mean, he's a good worker, so. Putting power to things also puts responsibility to it. I did a thing, and now I'm to blame. But then what does that say about power, choice, luck? You can't have darkness without light. You can't have good without evil.
You can't have winners without losers.
Right. And regardless of what situation you put us in, we are both. Having power is having responsibility. But it's also having blame for when that power is misused or not used. I could tell you that I don't exist, that I'm not really here, or that it takes a godly amount of power for me to even have this conversation right now. But that's not what matters. That's not the point. When this ends, it won't really end. Because as long as there are creatures that have choice and draw breath, don't even have to draw breath, it'll happen again. Some way or another. If you zoom far enough out, it'll drive yourself crazy. Why even try? Why even try if those cards can change the fate of anything? Why have enemies go up against you if you can make them turn into children?
Unfortunately, that little trick seems to only work on me.
That's not my doing.
Who are you, Sylvia?
I'm just a dancer. And this is the song I'm dancing to. All you have to do is keep playing.
So many questions I want to ask, but none of that matters. Would you... Well, I know it takes a lot of power to have the conversation, but if you're not here at all, if I'm imagining it anyway, would you play a game with me? It's the one I showed Zed. Just one hand.
If what I said was true, and this takes all my power to come here, why would I want to do anything else?
All right. I'll deal. The game is open. And I'll deal the cards out.
Okay. Do you feel the fade out here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, there I was, on the corner, on the precipice of Faran. I had the ocean to my left, I had the land to my right, and I had this big bowl of the most delicious jelly you've ever seen in your life. And then I told the other... Wait. Is it this story? Was I... no, I was in Valsha. Sorry, I was in Valsha. As we cut to Ogre and Lagoon. Maybe swapping stories, maybe Lagoon is just telling stories. As Ogre, you are drinking. You are for sure drunk. You're not poisoned, but you're definitely drunk.
She's just holding her cup like this.
And then I told him, I said, you know what? You just deal love, and we'll see where the cards drop. And you know where they dropped?
Here.
Yes. Right in the jelly. Ah! Do you get it? Okay. Anyways, that's me. Your turn.
Ogre went to another timeline where there's always a moon but no sun.
Great. Alright, are you making this up as you go along? It's fine. I'm good. Continue. What happened in this timeline?
Oh, if you told a joke, Ogre knows a joke.
Well, there's nothing more embarrassing than having someone asking if you told a joke. But sure. Go ahead.
Ogre never left this island, so Ogre never understood half the places you said.
Oh, well, they're all... I guess they're all made up, then.
Well, good for you for being well-traveled, though. I bet you've seen a lot of, our world and all that. You're not stuck.
Yeah.
Like, what's the coolest place you've ever seen?
Oh. I saw land once where the coconuts would only drop on people that passed by. So like there were these this beach as far as the eye can see, and the coconuts wouldn't move at all until one of my friends told me, said, go walk underneath. Go walk underneath. And then I walked underneath and a coconut fell and hit me right on the head. And then from there I saw this endless beach filled with trees with coconuts. But these coconuts would only drop on people that were passing by. And you know how I found that out in the dream is because I was walking with a friend, and my friend was like, "You tell him," and you hear this. I think Ogre hears this maybe more than twice before getting it.
Just nodding like this.
Okay, yeah, I think that time goes by, and now he's like on his like fifth or sixth. Okay, all right. So then there was another dream with the coconuts, and you pass by and.
Here's a joke for you.
Oh, thank God.
How do you catch a unique mouse?
I don't know. How do you catch a unique mouse?
You sneak up on it. But wait, there's a second part of the joke.
Okay.
How do you catch a tame one? The tame way.
Oh, that's good. Who tell you that one?
Ogre's big brother.
Ogre's big brother. Oh, that's right. That's you.
Yeah.
Great. Why do you do that?
What?
Why do you refer to yourself as Ogre?
Because Ogre's Ogre?
Right. You're right. Ogre is Ogre. I guess it does simplify things. You don't have to think about,
When Ogre was really little, it annoyed everyone in the village. Granny tried to get Ogre to stop, but it doesn't sound right. And Ogre doesn't like using the correct verbiage of common language, or however you want to put it. Like using, even Ogre doesn't like saying it. It doesn't sound right. When you refer to yourself, you should always do your name first.
Try it. Just try it once.
It doesn't sound right.
I'm just curious to see what you just tell me what it sounds like. Just show me.
I'm happy. See, that doesn't sound
Yeah, you're right. No, that sounds bloody awful. You're right. Yeah, that's better. Maybe I'll start doing that. Lagoon will start doing that.
It makes you sound more worldly and smarter.
It does one of those things, maybe. Well, where's your grandmother now?
Oh,
Your brothers?
Can I do an insight check on him? Is he really drunk?
Oh yeah, he's for sure drunk. I'll say you can carry over that insight check. Yeah, you guys are just having a drunk conversation.
Okay. She's with the clan and Ogre's brother and everybody else.
Clown.
The bellmaker said he would send people to help. Or not help, keep an eye on them because they were being hunted, but well, Ogre's not so sure about that. Because all this stuff, and Ogre found out that the people Ogre grew up with wasn't really by blood her relatives. Ogre has this really, and Ogre hates using bad language. But she's a bitch.
Whoa. I'll drink to that.
Know.
I have no idea who's a bitch, but I'm sure she is.
Oprah's half-sister?
Your half-sister is a bitch?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
What do you do here?
What do I do here?
Yeah, like, what's your job?
Well, I do a little of this and that. I've been trying to kind of find my way around. I've been working on the shipyard, and then I was working at the Rook and Crown until fairly recently.
Were you, like, really close to Rook?
I mean, he was my boss.
Are you mad that it burnt down?
Absolutely. I mean, now we only have one place to drink.
Do you really need two?
I guess not. And he just like kind of like tips a glass to like clink.
Clink.
And we'll pause you there. So back to Carr and Mira.
What I was trying to say when I froze was I was going to suggest the river, since Zed, there's definitely a current that goes to the sea, and Zed swam in it quite a bit when we went going down.
Yes. Beautiful. Yes, that'll probably that would probably work. And I think she just kind of goes into some specific sort of like funeral rites sort of things.
Right. And I do not need you to create sea elven funeral rites for the departed.
Yeah, I think the idea of like what we'll do is we'll say it's kind of like wrapping around the concept of like the idea of like every current is taking us somewhere new and somewhere else. So it's all kind of wrapping around that concept.
That's awesome. I will do my best to take notes so I don't mess anything up, but also for future reference, and I can do things for sea elves if it ever happens. So I got goblins and sea elves now. But I'm mostly just enough. Thank you. My dog. When I was getting emotional about Zed, my dog. I don't know if you saw, but he was all over me trying to.
Oh, really? That's cute.
So,
Good boy.
yeah, he's very good.
I saw that. That was super adorable.
Anyway, so yeah, I will, Carr will do the rites. He will, I lost the word, he will go through the rites for Zed, and to the best of his ability, yeah.
Cool. You got it. Go ahead and roll me a d20, please.
Okay. There's this. Okay. D20. This time I did not close the tab. Let me see. D20 is a 12.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. As you are doing this, so first off, you would have to travel to where the like area was. So I'd say at this point, like this like procession really has started to become a procession. As I would say, it takes about I believe we've kind of done like somewhere between like a half hour to an hour to be able to even just get there. But along the way, you see there is a torch in the distance of a figure that is walking now at this point close to like I'd say probably about midnight. But you see a figure, you see a torch that is out in the distance, and obviously Riaris, you also see it, and Nala does too.
Interesting. I will mark said torch, but and he's gonna start barking in a second because now he wants to give me more attention. I will mark said torch, but continue on my way to go what I'm doing. Just keeping in mind there's a torch there.
This is like while you're doing the funeral rites, and actually as you're doing them, you see I would say you see them kind of wait at a respectful distance. I would say even a little bit further than a respectful distance, about maybe 100 feet away. I think it's like far enough that you don't see who it is.
Okay. Then
you see just like kind of a cloaked figure.
Okay, then I will leave them be. I'm going to have to talk to you through the dog because he's not going to be alone.
Right.
I will continue with the rites because I'm doing rites and that's what I do. Rites.
Yeah.
So I do that.
I love it. So we'll say, so we'll say this is after that.
Okay.
The figure's still standing there. And so, obviously, Riaris, you're here too. I assume, Riaris, you probably stay paying attention to the funeral rites for Zed.
Yeah. I think
actually,
so.
And I'm so sorry. I don't mean to gloss over this. Is there anything you guys want to say?
I'm good.
Okay.
I would know what Carr would say, so Carr said appropriate things for the rites.
Cool.
I've already broken a little bit asking Mira for the rites themselves, so that's...
Yeah, you're also being the eulogy,
right,
the funeral director, all that stuff.
Exactly. I will do the thing. Please go ahead, Riaris, if you wanted to say something.
I don't have a whole lot more. I think so. Riaris is mine in a couple of places. Following Carr, seeing Carr done this many times, going, this is the best person to handle this type of situation. I think B in Riaris's mind is that there's some aspect of it that this isn't the end, and so he doesn't almost feel that there's funeral rites, even though there are, being that there will be another time with Zed. And I think, and I won't go further the third one because Kaelinor is not here, Nav's not here, whatever. I think at some point Riaris would find himself going as they're walking towards this procession to try to hold hands with Nav, almost in an emotional state of like we're all walking in this procession, and finding himself almost unconsciously seeking out comfort from Nav, Caitlin, as we walk forward.
Yeah,
and that
makes sense. Okay, cool.
However, when the rites are done, if the torch is still there, after enough time, I'll approach them. I'll approach the torch because I'm curious. They were being respectful, so I'm curious what's going on.
Got it. As you approach, Riaris, do you follow in suit?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. You see the figure say, I wanted to be respectful and not interrupt, but I did see the sign in the sky. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. You could have joined us, but I appreciate your respect.
It's rather late. I was wondering if you all had a place to stay here.
I look up at the trees and just kind of nod.
Right, of course. Well, I know it might seem a little bit a little early, but at any point in time you want to come by and talk to me about said or what happened, or our place is open.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Car, I think you've done a lot. Riaris. So I think, Car, like, you're in this kind of like moment of like respect and understanding. I think Riaris needs to roll on this.
Okay.
Riaris, give me an insight check. And we give you advantage.
Okay. Oh, watch out. That is a sailor's 20.
Oh, I love it. Sailor's 20.
Throwing it out there.
Riaris. This is the middle of the night. There is nothing around here. The spot where the spot where you did the ceremony is there's only a bridge that seems to lead further down to, like, you know, hours and hours later to the tower. There's no reason for her to be here. And you see her looking at all of you somewhat expectantly.
If you don't mind, Hilly, or Car, if you don't mind, I will take you up on that. We've had some offers, but if you have a room, I'd be happy to take it.
Of course. You can take my boy's old room. I think he's been busy elsewhere.
Are you sure? I don't want to upset any of his things he may have. I understand.
Oh, I guarantee you he's been gone for long enough that you can move anything anywhere and he wouldn't remember where it is.
I defer to you. I'd be honored. Thank you.
I think Nala's staying with Carr. I think Kalinor also kind of takes this moment to go, I think I'm going to go back to the ship.
Well, and actually, Carr is, when he hears what Yara says, and probably picks up what's going on, that Yara wants to go there for some reason. Carr's like, you on a roof?
Yes, I do.
So he'll go too, but we'll just sleep on the roof. I'll perch on the roof.
All right, I guess we're perching on the roof. Beautiful. So, yeah, I think on the so you guys are starting to kind of now walk back. I'll say for the sake of story here, Nala goes, so how does this work? I've never actually like perched on a roof with another Eric Kokra before. Like not in a, not, I'm not trying to make it weird. I'm saying like, just like, you know, like the sleep is sort of, and like at this, it's such a weird and embarrassing conversation. Car, you just instinctively, there's a part of you like it's so much past the racial and the idea of the openness sort of thing. This is such a weird conversation. You have to back up. You have to have this privately. Like it doesn't like.
We'll talk.
So I think Riaris and Hilly are walking together, and I think there's this like sort of like eerie silence as you guys are walking. You know, I don't normally walk out in the middle of the night.
No one in their right mind usually does, I found.
Well, we can wait till we get to the house, but clearly, Riaris, I'm here. So why don't you tell me what you guys need? And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. We'll see you guys next week.